Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to be opening up some parcels which have arrived at the P.O. box over the last couple months. This first box right here comes from somebody named Ed, who's from Georgia. Let's open it up and check it out. So right off the bat, we've got a postcard from Savannah. Hey, SMT, thank you still for explaining the trolley line. Here's some trackside accessories to liven up the layout, and a fire hall to put on the other side of the layout. P.S. Treats for Nerf Cat. Oh, thank you very much, Ed. And here is the fire hall. This looks to be maybe a late 70s, early 80s kit. And here are all the different accessories. A whole bunch of different kind of roadside stuff. Probably put these around a construction site in some cases as well. And I'm sure old Nerf Kitty will love the party mix treats. Dear SMT, I found this Rock Island F unit at my local train shop. I know you like the Rock Island models, and I thought you would enjoy this as a project. It's missing the fuel cell and plow. Here's an eBay link for a new snow plow. Noah from Washington. Well, thank you very much, Noah. Let's have a look at the locomotive here. And it appears to be an old AHM. I probably have replacement parts for this, so I think we could probably get it running again. Overall, not a bad model, so thank you so much for sending that along. This next box comes in from somebody who I think is named D'Amico, and they're from Toronto, Canada. It's a Hershey's boxcar. I'm not sure if it's another Tyco or if it's some other brand, but either way, that will look tremendous behind the Hershey factory. I couldn't find any note in this box, but I'm gonna have to double check my email. I feel like somebody might have mentioned something about sending one of these, so thank you so much to whoever sent this along. Hello and dear Harrison, I sent you this locomotive from Indiana. I mentioned it on my channel that I would send it, but I had some tornadoes come through. But the package made it if you're reading this. This locomotive does work to an extent, but needs a little bit of work. Sincerely, Model Trainer. P.S. I'm hoping you can build the N-scale layout with more full scenery like the HO ones. There's been a lot of requests for that. I will say it's working a lot better with the new track, but there's definitely still room for improvement on the N-scale layout. Either way, let's dig in here and see what the project engines are. The first one seems to be the classic Mantua Tyco 4-wheel switcher. Overall, this actually looks to be in pretty darn good shape. A little bit of sun fading on the top. I think that's the free weathering. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. And here are the two N-scale tunnel portals. I'll have to see if I can find homes for these on the N-scale layout. And then here's the F unit. Looks like the front truck is kind of popped out during transit there. No problem. Yeah, a little bit of work. We can definitely get that going again. So thank you very much for sending me all this stuff, Model Trainer. This next box comes in from somebody named Robert from Michigan. I think this was sent as a birthday gift. We'll open it up and have a look here. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can find a letter here. Dear Harrison SMT Mainline, I've been thinning out some of my trains and I thought you'd like to have these engines in rolling stock as a birthday present. I saw in one of your videos that your birthday was in April. There are 6 locomotives, one with DCC, 4 locomotives that I lettered for your railroad. This includes 1 British diesel locomotive that I fitted a knuckle coupler on, and 1 Erie Lackawanna locomotive. There's also 6 pieces of rolling stock, including 2 cabooses that I lettered with your railroad. All of them are fitted with knuckle couplers. I hope you like this as a present. Well, thank you so much, Robert. Let's dig into this and see what everything looks like here. So first of all, we have a vintage boxcar from Tyco for Gerber's baby food. I haven't seen one of these before. Then we've got a vegetable oil tank car, a New Haven boxcar, Baby Ruth candy boxcar, and a genuine SMT mainline caboose. And I think these are some of the locomotives here. Looks like the fireman has kind of left his post. We'll have to get him back into place. Overall, I'm looking forward to testing that engine out. And this next one, I think some kind of a U-boat. Got the old steel wheels. Not the most conductive, but they pull like nothing else. There seems to be some sort of Atlas locomotive. I don't know what this originally would have been, but it's SMT mainline railroad now. And this one's got a ton of weight. These old Atherns are really solid locomotives, so I've no doubt this thing will probably run like a dream. Made in Austria. I think this actually was put together by Roco. Fine piece of equipment. And you got your good old Erie Lackawanna. Looks like the motor might have popped out of place. That's kind of a common issue with these old Athearn blue boxes, but super simple fix, so I'm sure we'll get that one up and running in a jiff. It's even got the jeweled marker lights. That's nice. Weathered knuckle couplers. Pretty nice stuff. I remember seeing these in the old Bachmann DCC videos in the early days of the Easy Command system, which was actually my first DCC controller. And yeah, there it is. Overall, looks to be in really good shape. I just overall really like the paint scheme of the Western and Maryland Railroad. I think this red and white looks really cool. So that should be another really fun one to test out. And then right here, we've got the British diesel locomotive. This is a Hornby Class 40. And I have some other British diesels, but I don't believe I have any Class 40s, at least not in this exact paint scheme right here. So this is definitely going to be one of a kind. And the fact it has a knuckle coupler on one side and the traditional British style of coupling, I think is going to be great for both my European and North American rolling stock. Well, thank you so much for sending all these different pieces of rolling stock and locomotives, Robert. I really do appreciate it, and I really can't wait to test all of these out in a moment, but there's still another box to open. Now this next box is one of a kind because I actually already have the letter in hand before I've even opened up the box. Basically this was sent in from David's E to G scale, and he had written a letter but packaged up the box without it inside. So anyway, he just sent this by email and I printed it out. Harrison, happy 24th birthday. Just sending along this parcel to help you celebrate another year on the big blue marble. Yes, the earth is sort of round, actually an oblate spheroid. So sorry to burst the bubble of all the flat earthers. I'm not going to spoil the surprise by giving you a list of what's inside this time, but there are some chocolates you may want to share with Chloe and the family. If you're anything like me, you'll want the chocolate all for yourself. There's even something for Maverick, so he's included in the unboxing. I will say that the big boy item is created from one of my photographs. Enjoy, David Z to G. Well, that sounds fantastic. Let's dig in here and see what's inside. Happy birthday, Harrison. We've got a Bachmann. Oh, no. Oh, we've got the Bachmann. This thing is such a meme in the community. Some of the lines in this are just great. Like any fine engineered piece of equipment, model trains can develop problems, but they're usually easy to resolve or avoid. Well, I think the Bachmann should have been traveling out to Hong Kong to check in on their own factory and make sure that, there wasn't lead contamination, which led to zinc pest and nylon gears, which cracked, and premature motor failure and all that stuff. But you know what? It was a fun concept. I still love this. Anyway, getting into some of the other stuff. We got some Hershey's chocolate. The Hershey factory in Smith Falls actually made oversized bars. I think they actually set the world record for the world's largest lollipop, so they probably could have made a scale model of this, and this could actually qualify as HO scale. We got some Pop-Tarts. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of stickers. MNRA, different pieces of rolling stock, scale trains, Intermountain, Texas Great Northern Railway, and some sweet looking magnets and keychains. Here's one for all the viewers from Germany. Queen Anne, never heard of this brand before. Oh, that's so cool. It's like a whole homemade puzzle. That's awesome. I'm not sure how many pieces this is supposed to be, but I'm guessing it's at least 100, if not 500. Very cool. Ah, sweet. It's another Hershey's boxcar. And you know it's good, because it's Hershey's. Peanut butter blossoms. I think this is some kind of locomotive, but I can't really tell what. Oh, no way. Look at that. I've seen some similar switchers, but I've never seen one quite like this before. What a nifty little locomotive. Another Hershey's boxcar. That's the third one in this video. Absolutely wild. The factory is going to be really kitted out at this point. Here's a question for all of you in the comments. How many of you have seen this movie more than 5 times in a single Christmas season? I think I can definitely count myself in on that vote. Oh, check that out. Got all these old Athearn stickers. Blue Box, Genesis, and Roundhouse. Oh, sweet. More Hershey stuff. The chocolate shop in Smith Falls, I think, got a lot of the same merchandise that Hershey World and some of their other operations, like their one in Oakdale, used to get, so this might have been a product there at one point. This right here appears to be some kind of steam locomotive, possibly die-cast. Whoa. It's a Lionel HO scale locomotive. I have not seen one of this generation. A lot of the Lionel HO stuff I've ever worked with was either made at their plant in Michigan, or it was a rebadged Kadar or Rivarossi product. So this is very unique. I've never seen one like this. I'm going to be really curious to see if this one runs. Oh, that's so cool. It's a Hershey's dog toy. I'm sure Mavy Dog will love this. I think it's supposed to be a German steam locomotive. Since this one doesn't have a worm drive, you should be able to turn it over by hand, but it's a little bit stiffer and there's some buildup on the wheels there, so I have no idea if this one's going to start. Either way, it's definitely going to make for something interesting to test out. No way, is this supposed to be the Casey Jones locomotive? Icy Railroad 382, no way. That is awesome. I think this one right here is a Varney. We're definitely going to have to make this one fly in the honor of Casey Jones. It's going to be a good runner. This thing has to live up to the legend right here. What a cool piece of equipment there. Eureka Western. New Jersey Central. Got good old Lady Liberty on the side. What a beauty. North American Railcar Corporation. I traveled across Canada once with a friend a few years ago, and I tell you what, when you're going through the prairie provinces, you just see these grain trains and oil trains going on for miles. Either way, I haven't heard of this manufacturer before, so I'm very curious to see this car. That looks great. This would be a fun thing to haul up to the cottage for a rainy day. What is that? Walther's Gold Line. Are you serious? That is absolutely awesome. All Union Pacific. Got intermodal cars, got tank cars on the layout, got tons of box cars on the layout, but coal cars are definitely a lot more rare. Absolutely awesome. Well, David, I don't know what to say other than thank you so much. Once again, the generosity, not just in what you sent, but just the thought behind a lot of these things is just unreal. So thank you so much. I really can't wait to run all these things. So anyway, I think at this point we'll take all the stuff that's been sent in here over to the track. We'll start by testing out all the locomotives, and whichever ones run can pull some of these different pieces of rolling stock around, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So I've got all the locomotives all ready to go for testing here. I've roughly organized everything from smallest to largest, so we'll start over here with the Gilbert 4-wheel diesel, and I really don't know what to expect from this thing. It does look like a decent quality locomotive, but I suspect it has been sitting a long time, and one of the drivers is kind of the shape of a Thigh Master, so even if this thing does start, my expectations on how well it's going to run with that are not very high. Let's try giving it some power here, though. And wouldn't you know it, it actually does run. It's kind of thumping away on the track because of that driver, but I don't even know how that's possible. Like, it's actually running pretty smooth considering, you know, the wheels look like that. So, yeah, what a great little locomotive. I'm sure with a bit of fresh oil and getting that back into shape, this thing will run like an absolute top. Anyways, next up we've got the Mantua Tyco 4-wheel diesel. These are pretty tough, and I'm pretty sure that this one is supposed to be a runner as well. So let's try giving it some power here and see what happens. And I did see something for just a second there. This definitely seems to be a runner, but I think the contacts are in desperate need of some cleaning and possibly some fresh oil and stuff as well. Moving on, we've got the 060 locomotive from Fleshman. I really don't know what to expect from this thing. As we saw earlier, it wasn't turning over all that well, so it's definitely going to need some servicing, but you have a couple of headlights, so that's good. In terms of this thing actually running, I'm not sure how well the camera's picking it up, but something is arcing really badly on the commutator, which could be a sign that there's high current draw, but it's certainly not a hopeless locomotive. And next up, we've got the Bachmann F unit. I'm pretty sure this one is supposed to be a runner, and these also tend to be pretty simple drives. A lot of them, unfortunately, do have cracked gears, so we'll see if this one is one of those. And no. Actually runs pretty well for a locomotive of this generation. Yeah, that right there is about as good as these things kind of get in terms of performance. What a great locomotive. Next we've got the Rock Island. Now I did have to add some wheels on the back here, but I still have not tested this locomotive, so I have no idea what to expect in terms of performance. I will say too, this engine feels very light, and without the weight that can cause electrical issues because there isn't enough force on the wheels. If we give it power, I did see something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, seems like a pretty nice runner there. And now we've got the Erie Lackawanna Blue Box locomotive. Now, as we saw earlier, the motor has popped out. A very common problem with these old Blue Box engines, so I'm just going to quickly open this up and we'll pop it back into place here. Any collector who's ever worked on one of these things before has probably seen this happen. Oh, yeah, there we go. No problem. Seems to run pretty well, as most Atherns from that era do. Next up, we've got the Atlas locomotive. These are very high quality in my opinion. They're one of the few brands from that era which I think could actually give Atherns from that era a run for their money. They tend to be pretty smooth and quiet. I think this one might have been sitting for a while, but it is moving. After only one lap around the layout, it seems to have shaken all the cobwebs loose and is performing about typically for how these things usually do when they leave the factory, so that's great to see right there. Anyway, next up we've got the Bachmann engine. I don't know if this one has been sitting for a while or not, but it is supposed to be a DCC engine, so we'll test it out on that. Got a working headlight. And yeah, no problem. It seems like the directional lighting is working pretty well. A little bit of oil would probably be good with this thing, and a little bit of dusting here and there, but other than that, what a great new locomotive. Next up is the Casey Jones. I really don't know what to expect from this thing. It kind of looks like it has been sitting for a while, but it's also the Casey Jones locomotive, so maybe that will help it. And nothing's happening. Oh! I shouldn't have said that. We had something for a second there, and now it's shorted. I feel like one of the trucks might be rotated the wrong way. For anyone who's been in the hobby for a while, you probably already know this, but for any beginners out there, some tenders have trucks which can rotate all the way around and actually end up on a side that they shouldn't be. Now you can see we've got all the insulators on the same side and all the conductive wheels on the other side there, which is opposite to the ones on the locomotive. And I have a feeling that that was the problem in this case. Once again, giving it power, and yep. There we go. We got a runner. Oh yeah, and this thing's rowdy. This is definitely the Casey Jones locomotive. I'm sure with a little bit of oil and connecting that drawbar, we can probably make this thing even more mint. And next up we have the Athern U-boat. It's an Athern, so, you know, it's just gonna run, I have no doubt. And yep, fires right up. Kind of sounds like the world's, largest mosquito, doesn't it? Alright, and absolutely nothing. Oh. It's trying. Yeah, sure. Is it gonna make it back? Yeah, it's losing bits along the way, but that's fine. It's a runner. And now we have the Class 40. I guess that Hornby must have been producing these things longer than I thought. Oh yeah, wow. Holy crap, this thing's fast. Oh, that one runs really well. And now we've got this really mysterious machine, which is missing a wheel set. Just gonna quickly load that up into here. If it's anything like a post-war Lionel, it should just start right up. And I've got a headlight, I can hear the motor going. No, that's not good. Sounds to me like the motor is completely loose, so I think we must be missing a gear or something is stripped out, because, yeah, that is quite strange there. But it will definitely make for a fun project. And as for all the locomotives which did start today, I think we'll get some rolling stock on the track and have some fun running some of these fine machines around. Well folks, that's nearly it for today's video. I certainly had a lot of fun unboxing all this stuff today, and there's a whole bunch of different people I want to thank, starting with Ed for the construction stuff, the fire station, as well as the cat biscuits, all very generous things, so thank you very much for sending all of those along. The second person, I think is named Nick, and I want to thank him for the Hershey's boxcar. The third person I want to thank is Model Trainer for the Project Locomotives and the N-Scale tunnel portals. I'll definitely put those to good use on the N-Scale layout and try to bring it upscale a little bit more, so thank you very much for sending those along. The fourth person I want to thank is Robert for the various pieces of vintage rolling stock and a whole bunch of really nice locomotives. Not to mention he threw knuckle couplers on everything and some SMT mainline logos. Very thoughtful stuff, so thank you very much, Robert. I really do appreciate it as a birthday gift. Then I'd like to thank Noah for the Rock Island locomotive. And finally, I'd like to give a huge thanks to David for the chocolates, the puzzles, all of the Hershey stuff, including that dog toy. Mav absolutely loves that thing. He's been tearing around the house with it, so it's definitely a hit. And I also want to give you a big thanks for the various locomotives and really nice pieces of rolling stock. Just insanely generous and very thoughtful stuff, so thank you so much, David. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today's video. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.